The Sony A9 Mark III is supposed to be announced in early 2023. But is this a solid lead, or are we just being teased? Details coming up, but first I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear news and rumors. Sony Alpha Rumors said that the Sony A9 Mark III will be lent to select photographers during the FIFA World Cup and possibly during the Asian Winter Games. Sony Alpha Rumors didn't state that this information came from a known or trusted source, stating that a month ago I got hints that the Sony A9 Mark III might be coming in early 2023. It's only a hint, nothing solid yet. It's really hard to get excited over information leaked from unknown and untrusted sources. Yesterday, I published a video about the Canon EOS R1, a 85 megapixel sensor, BSI stacked, and all sorts of other wonderful things. The only problem is they came from unknown, unvalidated sources, and here we are with the Sony A9 Mark III. We don't have anything trusted. We don't have anything valid. Sure, it might be coming in early 2023, but this camera, the A9 Mark III, was also supposed to be coming in October of this year, which is, well, a month ago. It's already in the past. So that's obviously not happening. It's not going to happen in November. It's not going to happen in December. So now we're at early 2023, according to an unvalidated, untrusted source. So what about the specifications? Well, we don't, again, have anything really valid or trustworthy there too. But Sony Alpha Rumors did say that they did have some information from sources, but please take it with a grain of salt. So even this is not validated. It's not coming from trusted sources. So what about the sensor? Well, obviously it's going to be a full frame sensor, but the resolution is supposed to be identical, 24 megapixels. You'll recall that the A7R5 also kept the same resolution as well. So the A9 Mark III isn't getting a boost in resolution. And for all of those of you out there who absolutely hate 20 or 24 megapixels, you're not going to like this in the A9 Mark III. Good news though, you are going to get that brand new autofocus system, that new AI deep learning autofocus system that we saw in the A7R5. No surprises there because Sony said, hey, look, this is a new system. We're pioneering it in this camera, the R5, and you're going to see it in all our other cameras coming out. So it's no surprises it's going to show up in the A9 Mark III. In terms of continuous shooting speed, we're supposed to get around 30 frames per second. It doesn't mention whether it's 14-bit, 16-bit, lossless, lossy, anything like that. We just know around 30 frames per second. And in terms of video, definitely no 8K. It's only a 24 megapixel sensor. It's supposed to give us 4K, 24, 25, 30, 50, and 60 frames per second. No mention of 120 frames per second. And in terms of 6K oversample 4K, well, I'd be really surprised if Sony doesn't give us full sensor readout. So I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that we will get 6K oversampled 4K. Now, in terms of what type of throughput will we get on this camera? Well, I think like Sony did with the A7R5, we're going to see a lot more throughput in this camera. So even though it's got the same resolution, I'm expecting better dynamic range. I'm expecting better low light performance, but I'm also expecting an awful lot more throughput. How much better that's going to be? Well, we really don't know because, again, these are based off of the specifications we're getting from Sony Alpha Rumors, which are coming from unvalidated, untrusted sources, at least at this point. So I think as we get closer to an announcement, we might get more information. But right now, I'm sorry, the Sony A9 Mark III, we're not getting a lot of information from it, but at least the rumors that we're getting now are not as wild as they were about a year ago. The early rumors on the A9 Mark III were just all over the place, some even suggesting 8K video. But yeah, 24 megapixels, I'm not so sure I'm keen on that. What do you think? Is 24 megapixels enough for you? Canon just increased from 20 to 24 megapixels in the R6 Mark II. Many wish they had gone to 26 or even 30 megapixels. 24 megapixels on the A9 Mark III. And do we have a price? Yes, we have an estimated price of around $5,000. $5,000? Wow, that's an awful lot. Now, based on the specs that I'm hearing here, it sounds like an awful lot of money. But again, even that price of $5,000 could be completely off as well, right? That's the problem with untrusted, unvalidated rumors. They are almost useless. But the one thing they do is they spark conversation and discussion. Look at all the comments we already have down below. Let me know what you think about the Sony A9 Mark III, what it's going to do, what its price range is going to be. $5,000? I don't really see that happening. That's awfully close to the Sony Alpha 1. And that's already 2 years old. We'll get an update on that probably within a year or two. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Sony A1 Mark II or an FX camera based on that long before we see the Canon EOS R1. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest camera news and rumors, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, but make sure you also choose or click all notifications. By choosing all notifications, as soon as I publish a new video like this one here, you'll get notified by YouTube, so that way you can stay up to date on all the latest camera news and rumors. That saves you from scrubbing all the Twitter feeds, RSS feeds, all your favorite websites and YouTube channels, because I cover all the major news and rumors from all the major brands, models, all right here in one place. So please go ahead and subscribe and choose all notifications. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for dialing in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again soon.